Hey guys, this is AJ from Age's Adventures, and today I will be doing my very first Marvel Monday fanfic using ChatGPT again. So yeah, today will be what if Obadiah Stane killed Tony Stark. So let's begin. Obadiah Stane, the former business partner of Tony Stark, sits in his office staring at a photo of Stark Industries on his desk. He had been planning his revenge for years, ever since Stark had outed him from the company. He picks up his phone and dials a number, a sly grin spreading across his face. It's done. It's done. Stark is dead. On the other end of the line, a gruff voice responds. Good. The payment has been transferred to your account. Stane hangs up the phone. Standing from his desk and making his way to Stark Industries, he enters the building, the guards greeting him with nods of recognition. He heads straight into Stark's office, where he finds the billionaire inventor sitting at his desk, going over some blueprints. Tony, we need to talk. Stark looks up, surprised to see Stane in his office. Obadiah, what are you doing here? I thought we settled our differences. Settled? No, Tony. I've waited too long for this. I've waited for the day when I could take everything from you. Just as you took everything from me. Stark starts to stand up, but Stane pulls out a handgun and points it at him. Obadiah, what are you doing? Put that away. You're not thinking clearly. I've never been more clear-minded in my life. You took everything from me, Tony. My company, my reputation, my livelihood, and now I'm going to take something from you. With those words, Stane pulls the trigger, shooting Stark in the chest. Stark falls to the ground, gasping for breath as Stane watches, a satisfied smirk on his face. Why, Obadiah? Why? Because I can, Tony. Because I can. Stane turns and leaves the office, leaving Stark to die on the floor. The murder was very cold, calculated, and Stane was able to get away with it and enjoy his revenge, while the company and people closest to Stark were left in shock and mourning. What happens with Stark Industries? After Tony Stark's death, the company is thrown into chaos. The board of directors holds an emergency meeting, trying to decide on a course of action. What are we going to do? Stark Industries is in shambles without Tony. We need to find a new CEO, someone who can step in and take the reins. But who? Tony was the heart and soul of this company. No one can replace him. The board members continue to argue, unable to come to a decision. Then, Stark's closest confidant, his personal assistant, Pepper Potts, enters the room. Excuse me, but I have an idea. I know that Tony would want me to step up and take over as CEO. Pepper, you're a personal assistant, not a CEO. I've been working with Tony for years. I know this company inside and out. I know how he would want things to be done. And I know that I can do this. The board members hesitate, but eventually agree to give Pepper a chance as the new CEO. Under Pepper's leadership, Stark Industries begins to stabilize. She makes difficult decisions, laying off employees and cutting unnecessary expenses. But she also works to keep Tony's vision alive by investing in new technologies and innovations. I know Tony would be proud of what we have accomplished. We have been able to maintain the company stability, and we are working on new projects that will change the world for the better. The company slowly starts to recover, but it's never the same without Tony Stark at the helm. His death not only left a hole in the company, but in the hearts of those who knew and loved him. What happens with Obadiah Stane? After Obadiah Stane kills Tony Stark, he is arrested and put on trial for murder. The trial is highly publicized, and Stane's defense team attempts to paint Stark as a corrupt businessman who deserved to die. During the trial, several people testify about Stane's motives and actions leading up to the murder. Stark's former colleagues and employees testify about the animosity that existed between Stark and Stane. The prosecution presents evidence of Stane's plan to murder Stark, including phone calls and emails between Stane and the hired assassin. In the end, the jury finds Stane guilty of first-degree murder, and he is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As the bailiff leads Stane away in handcuffs, he turns to the courtroom and says with a smirk on his face, "You haven't seen the last of me yet. I'll be out there before you know it." Stane spends his days in prison, thinking of ways to appeal the verdict and trying to find a way out of this predicament. He has a lot of resources and connections, but as the years go by, it becomes clear that he will spend the rest of his life behind bars, paying for his crime and never able to enjoy the fruits of his twisted revenge. What happens to Tony's armor? After Tony Stark's death, the future of his Iron Man suit and technology becomes a topic of discussion among Stark Industries board members and engineers. What are we going to do with all of Tony's Iron Man suits? They're worth a fortune. We should put them on display, honor his legacy. We should dismantle them and study the technology, see if we can improve upon it. Pepper Potts, who has taken over as CEO of Stark Industries, makes the final decision. We will honor Tony's legacy by continuing his work. We will study the technology and use it to help others. We will develop new suits, new technology, and improve upon what Tony has created. The Iron Man suits are dismantled and the technology is studied by a team of engineers. They work to improve the technology and develop new suits, which are used to help those in need. We are continuing Tony's legacy by using the Iron Man technology for good. We are making a difference in the world, just like he wanted. The Iron Man suits and technology become a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the difference one person can make when they use their resources and talents for the greater good. What happens with Rhodey? After Tony Stark's death, Rhodey, Stark's best friend and confidant, is left reeling from the loss. He struggles to come to terms with the fact that his friend is gone and tries to move on with his life. I can't believe Tony is gone. He was more than just a friend. He was like a brother to me. Rhodey takes some time away from Stark Industries, unable to bear the thought of being there without Tony. He spends time with his family and tries to find a new purpose in life. One day, while Rhodey is visiting Tony's lab, he discovers a set of blueprints for a new Iron Man suit. He realizes that Tony had been working on working on it before he died. Tony had been working on this suit before he passed away. I know that what I have to do. I have to finish it, make it real. This is my way to honor him. Rhodey works tirelessly to bring the new suit to life, using his own engineering expertise and knowledge of the technology to complete the project. He puts this on the suit and becomes the new Iron Patriot. I'm not Tony, but I'll do my best to honor his legacy by using the suit for good. Rhodey continues to protect the world and help others, just as Tony would have wanted. He becomes a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the difference one person can make when they use their resources and talents for the greater good. As Rhodey flies off, he whispers to himself, "This is for you, Tony. I will make you proud." What does Nick Fury do? After Tony Stark's death, Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., is determined to find out who was responsible for Stark's murder. He assigns a team of agents to investigate and track down the killer. "I want to know who did this. Stark was one of the good guys, and we will not rest until justice is served." The team soon discovers that Obadiah Stane was behind the murder, and Fury orders his agents to bring Stane in for questioning. "Stane, you're under arrest for the murder of Tony Stark." "You have no proof. I'm a respected businessman. You have nothing on me. We have enough to put you away for a long time. You won't be hurting anyone else." As the investigation and trial progress, Fury makes sure that Stane is held accountable for his actions. He also works closely with Pepper Potts and Rhodey to ensure that Stark Industries and the Iron Man technology continue to be used for good. Tony Stark was a hero. He was a friend. We will make sure his legacy lives on. Fury also keeps a close eye on any potential threats to the world and continue to protect the world from harm, like Stark would have wanted. He also makes sure that the Avengers Initiative, Stark's brainchild, continues to thrive and protect the world from any dangers. What happens with Happy Hogan? After Tony Stark's death, Happy Hogan, Stark's personal driver and close friend, is left feeling lost and alone. He struggles to come to terms with the loss of his friend and his role in Stark's life. "I can't believe he's gone. I don't know what to do without him." Happy takes some time off from his job at Stark Industries, unsure of what his life holds. He spends time with his family and tries to find a new purpose in life. One day, Happy receives a package in the mail from Stark. Inside, he finds a note and a set of keys to a car. The note reads, "Happy, I know you'll always have my back. Take care of this for me." Happy is confused at first, but soon realizes that the car is Stark's prized possession. A 1970 Dodge Charger RT. Happy is touched by the gesture and decides to restore the car to its former glory. "Tony knew me well. I'll make sure the car is perfect, just like he was." As Happy works on the car, he finds solace in the familiar task and it becomes a way for him to remember and honor his friend. He also becomes more involved in Stark Industries, helping Pepper Potts and the team to continue Stark's legacy. Tony was not just a boss, he was a friend. I will make sure his legacy lives on. Happy reminds Happy continues to drive the restored car, and it becomes a symbol of friendship with Stark, a reminder of the good times they had together and a way to keep Stark's memory alive. What happens with the Avengers Initiative? After Tony Stark's death, the future of the Avengers Initiative, the Stark's brainchild, is uncertain. The other Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, are left wondering what will happen to the team without Stark's leadership and resources. Tony was the one who brought this team together. Without him, I don't know if the Avengers can continue. We must honor our fallen comrade by continuing to protect the realm as he would have wanted. Stark Industries is going strong. We can still use the resources. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., who was also Stark's friend, steps in to take charge of the initiative. The Avengers are not just a team. They are a symbol of hope. We will continue to protect the world, just as Stark would have wanted. Under Fury's leadership, the Avengers continue to take on dangerous threats to the world. They work closely with Stark Industries to use their resources and technology to help them in their missions. Pepper Potts, Stark's former personal assistant and now CEO of Stark Industries, also plays a big role in supporting the Avengers and keeping Stark's legacy alive. Tony would have wanted to use his technology to make a difference in the world. The Avengers are doing just that. The Avengers Initiative continues to thrive and protect the world from harm, just as Stark would have wanted. His memory lives on through their actions, and they become a symbol of hope and inspiration to the people they protect. Did Rhodey join the Avengers? After taking on the mantle of Iron Patriot, Rhodey is approached by Nick Fury with an offer to join the Avengers. This is a very interesting fanfic so far. We could use a man like you on the team, Rhodey. Stark would have wanted it. Rhodey is hesitant at first, unsure if he is ready to take on such a big responsibility. I don't know, Nick. I'm not Tony. I don't know if I'm cut out for this kind of thing. You don't have to be Tony. You just have to be yourself. And I have a feeling that you have what it takes to be an Avenger. Rhodey thinks it over and ultimately decides to join the team. I'll do it for Tony. I'll do it for Tony. As a member of the Avengers, Rhodey proves to be a valuable asset to the team, using his knowledge of the Iron Patriot suit and technology to help them in their missions. He quickly becomes a respected member of the team, working closely with the other Avengers to protect the world from harm. I'm honored to be part of this team, to be able to continue Tony's legacy. The Avengers Initiative continues to thrive and protect the world from harm, just as Stark would have wanted. Rhodey's presence in the team helps to keep Stark's memory alive, and his actions become a symbol of hope and inspiration to the people they protect. What happens to the Ten Rings organization? The Ten Rings, the terrorist group that kidnapped Tony Stark and ultimately led to his becoming Iron Man, is heavily impacted by Stark's death. They had long been a thorn in the side of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other peacekeeping organizations. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and his team of agents continue to track and pursue the Ten Rings with the intention of dismantling the organization and neutralizing its leadership. The Ten Rings have caused enough trouble. It's time to put an end to them. As the organization loses its key members and resources, it becomes increasingly difficult for them to continue their terrorist activities. They are eventually forced to retreat and go underground, becoming less of a threat to world peace and stability. We've dealt a heavy blow to the Ten Rings. They're not completely gone, but they're not the threat they once were. The Avengers and other peacekeeping organizations continue to monitor the group, making sure that they are not able to regroup and renew their terrorist activities. With the removal of its leadership and resources, the Ten Rings becomes a shadow of its former self, unable to carry out the scale of operations they once did. What happened with Ho Yinsen? Ho Yinsen was a fictional character in the Iron Man comics, a renowned scientist and engineer who helped Tony Stark build his first Iron Man suit while they were both held captive by the Ten Rings terrorist group. Ho Yinsen sacrificed his own life to distract the Ten Rings so Stark could escape and become Iron Man. In the scenario where Stark was killed, it is not specified what happened with Ho Yinsen, as he is not mentioned in the story. It is also not specified if the character is still alive or not in this scenario. My guess is he died, just like the original story. What becomes of S.H.I.E.L.D.? After Tony Stark's death, S.H.I.E.L.D., the peacekeeping organization that Stark had worked closely with, continues its missions to protect the world from harm. However, the loss of Stark, who was one of their most valuable allies and resources, is felt deeply by the organization. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., takes on the responsibility of leading the organization and continuing the mission. We've lost one of our own, but that doesn't mean we stop fighting. Stark would want us to keep going, to keep making a difference. Under Fury's leadership, S.H.I.E.L.D. continues to track and neutralize threats to world peace, such as the Ten Rings terrorist group. They also continue to work closely with Stark Industries, using their resources and technology to help in their missions. Stark Industries is still a valuable asset, and we will continue to work with them to make sure the world stays safe. S.H.I.E.L.D. also continues to support the Avengers Initiative and other peacekeeping organizations to make sure that the world stays safe. Stark's death is a loss for the organization, but his legacy lives on through their actions. They continue to be a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the difference one person can make when they use their resources and talents for the greater good. What happens with Tony Stark's tech? After Tony Stark's death, the future of his technology becomes a topic of discussion among the Stark Industries board members, engineers, and S.H.I.E.L.D. What are we going to do with all of Tony's technology? It's worth a fortune. We should use it. We should use it for good. Help people with it. We should study it, improve upon it, and develop new things. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., agrees with the board members and engineers and suggests that S.H.I.E.L.D. and Stark Industries work work together to use the technology to help others. Stark's technology is too valuable to let it go to waste. We should use it to make a difference in the world. Under the guidance of Pepper Potts, CEO of Stark Industries, and Nick Fury, SHIELD and Stark Industries engineers continue to study and improve upon Stark's technology. They also use it to develop new projects, such as Iron Man suits, new medical equipment, and new energy sources. Tony would want us to use his technology to help others. That's what we are doing. We are using Stark's technology to protect the world, just as he would have wanted. The technology becomes a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the difference one person can make when they use their resources and talents for the greater good. Stark's legacy lives on through the technology and its impact on the world. What happens with the Stark Expo? After Tony Stark's death, the future of Stark Expo, a technology and innovation fair founded by Stark, is uncertain. The expo had been a major event in the tech world and a showcase of Stark Industries' latest innovations. What are we going to do with the Stark Expo? It's Tony's legacy. We should cancel it. It wouldn't be the same without him. Pepper Potts, CEO of Stark Industries, makes the final decision. We will not cancel the Stark Expo. It's Tony's legacy, and we will continue it. We will honor him by showcasing the latest technology and innovations. The Stark Expo continues to be held, but with a different focus. Instead of just showcasing Stark Industries' latest innovations, it becomes a platform for other companies and individuals to showcase their own technology and innovations. The Stark Expo is about more than just Stark Industries. It's about celebrating innovation and progress. We will continue to do that in Tony's memory. The Expo becomes a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the difference one person can make when they use their resources and talents for the greater good. Stark's legacy lives on through the Expo and its impact on the world. How would Hammer Industries take advantage of Tony's death? After Tony Stark's death, Hammer Industries, Stark's rival company, sees an opportunity to take advantage of Stark's absence in the market. Justin Hammer, the CEO of Hammer Industries, sees Stark's death as a chance to gain an edge in the market and increase his own profits. With Stark out of the way, we can finally take over the market. We'll be the biggest player in the game. Hammer begins to aggressively market his own technology and innovations, trying to position himself as a new leader in the industry. Our technology is better. Our innovations are more advanced. We are the future of the industry. He also tries to poach Stark Industries engineers and scientists, offering them better pay and benefits to join his company. Hammer is so funny. Why work for a company that's going to fade away? Join us and be a part of something bigger and better. Hammer also tries to buy out Stark Industries, but Pepper Potts, CEO of Stark Industries, makes sure that the company stays independent and continues Tony's legacy. Stark Industries is not for sale. We will continue to innovate it to make a difference in the world, just as Tony would have wanted. In the end, Hammer's attempts to take advantage of Stark's death are not successful. Stark Industries continues to thrive, and its technology and innovations continue to make a positive impact on the world. And that was the end of my fanfic. So right now, I will do my closing and say bye. Make sure to like, comment in the discussion tab, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Bye!